Yeah, it's the Tech Talk Show. We're back. We're in the building, doing it real heavy. I got Charles, 2 Z's.
Yep, here.
I got KC.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
SecurityOrb.com, and it's yours truly, Mr. Zay, myzayday.com.
Yeah, and if you want to call in, it's 1-800-450-7876. Also, check us out on the website, which is www.thetechtalkshow.ning.com.
Check it out. It's exciting. I mean, you can see some of our old streams, see some new streams, and talk about new things.
That's it.
New things like this whole iPhone e-commerce thing. So I read this thing. It was a video, right? It's on CNN, right? Shout out to CNN Technology. So they had this hot dog stand that was going out of business, right in front of the college university, selling hot dogs. So they were unable to make money because they only took cash, right? Kids were like, look, we don't carry cash. And then they were like, well, we take checks. They were like, who does checks anymore, right? They get this little tiny adapter. It's a e-commerce adapter that they sling on top of their iPhone, and they're in business. They swipe the card. This thing is probably 1 inch by 1 inch, right? And they swipe the card right through it. There's an application that goes on the iPhone that enables them to type it in like a cash register, and they completely transact right there. Their sales have tripled as a result of this technology. And that's exciting news in these economic times that, a little device like that and a small application on the iPhone can empower people in such an amazing way.
Wow. And it looked like you could use it as a debit card or a credit card.
Anything.
Yeah.
It's a little, if you guys see it, it almost looks like a mini antenna that you just slide in.
Yeah.
And then, they swipe the card right through this little area, and it's a done deal. And the application's on the phone.
Mobile devices, man.
Oh,
Mobile
man,
devices.
you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So, let's see. Up next, who do we have?
We have Phaedra Fields. She is a social media expert. She has her own blog. We'll let her give us her blog. But she specializes in creating web pages for business, governments, and for personal use. So she's going to talk to us about some of her recent articles pertaining to Twitter, getting a new look, and some other stuff. So, Phaedra, you're on the line.
I am.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Okay, you're here with Mr. Zay, Chaz 2 Z's, and we're here, just going to try to get some information on your recent article pertaining to Twitter, new look and functionality, and what can you tell us about that?
Okay, Twitter decided a while ago to try to come up with an interface to replace some of the third-party applications like TweetDeck and Seismic and Hootsuite. So they came out with this new look where you can actually open up video and pictures right in the Twitter webpage. They have totally overhauled the way you tweet. If you send out a tweet, if you click on a tweet from somebody else, you can see not only that tweet but related tweets. They have some Ajax going on where if you click on a person's username, another window pops up like a light box showing you their bio, how many followers they have, how many tweets they have, so forth and so on. So the idea was to get more people on Twitter web and get them off TweetDeck and Seismic and Hootsuite and all these other third-party tools that are taking advantage of the traffic and the new content that Twitter creates every single second, 24/7, 365, because Twitter it doesn't go away. We may go to sleep in the U.S., but in India and the U.K. and in Africa, they're tweeting all day and all night. So
Wow.
Twitter is trying to capitalize on the content that they're creating because there are all these third-party tools out there basically making good money off of this public stream.
So is this application has been rolled out to the masses? Because I still have my old Twitter-looking interface on my...
No, they chose certain people to get it. I actually know 2 individuals who have it, and actually I don't have it. I actually had to do a screen sharing with one of my colleagues to see the new look and the functionality. One of the things we were concerned about was he clicked on one of my links, and it actually took him to my blog as opposed to opening the movie trailer up in Twitter. Well, you actually have to have the link to the physical trailer or the link to the physical picture for it to open up. What you have, just to kind of give you a visual, is on one side you have your regular stream, and then on the other side there's like this preview pane. So there's all this other new stuff going on the preview pane. So you don't have this stream right down the middle of the page anymore. And some people were complaining about it because it's so wide now that folks who made their own backgrounds, you can't see the backgrounds anymore. And I actually have a customized background, and like all of my stuff on the left and right is totally cut off.
Wow.
It's not a big deal. I know how to go into Photoshop and fix it, but some people actually put out a little money to other folks to brand themselves on their Twitter background. So this is going to cause them to have to, maybe shell out a little bit more money or actually learn how to do it themselves.
So
no, everybody doesn't have it yet. That was the question you asked me. Everybody doesn't have it yet.
Right. So what are these third parties doing now? They see that their creation might be in danger right now.
I hate to say it, but I don't think that the third party tools are in danger. Honestly, let me tell you why. Twitter, they got it right in some cases with the new interface, but where they get it wrong, and the biggest reason that I don't use Twitter Web and people that I know don't use Twitter Web is because you can only see one column at a time. You have to click here to see all the public tweets, and then you have to click there to see your @mentions or your @replies. You have to click here to see your direct messages. You have to click here to do a search. Seismic, Hootsuite, TweetDeck all give you side-by-side columns so you can watch everything at one time. These third-party tools will probably not go anywhere until Twitter decides that that is the most important thing to focus on, because it's just so much more convenient to be able to see everything going on. Because if you're on Twitter Web and you're tweeting in your timeline and people are DMing you, you don't see that.
Right.
Right. So the third-party tools they're okay for right now. But if Twitter ever decides to go with the multiple column look,
then they're in trouble.
And functionality, then the third-party tools are going to be in trouble.
Okay. And you also cover some stuff about how the .govs are doing more social networking. Could you kind of give us an example on that?
Sure. I actually am a computer applications trainer for a company in Alexandria, and I teach social media classes to DODs, the federal government. We're on the GSA schedule, so I work with the FBI, the CIA, the U.S. Mint, all these different government agencies, and they have a real big concern about security. And they don't want, especially like the FBI and CIA, they want to put out information, but they don't want to get comments about it.
Right.
And I explained to them, in the beginning of my class, that Web 1.0 was a monologue, but Web 2.0 is a dialogue. So if you're not going to interact and engage with your constituents, then you might as well just keep a static site. There's no need to be on Twitter or Facebook or any of these other sites. What they're finding out is they really have to go where their constituents are. If they want to get the word out, if they want to get their information across, they're going to have to be social. What I discovered in my research, in my article, is a lot of them are using YouTube to put out videos.
Right.
They're using a lot of them. I think the majority of them had accounts on Twitter and fan pages on Facebook. Those are the three most common.
Nice.
And then there are some who are using Vimeo, Flickr, Picasa, but they're really loosening up. And I think what's happening is the regulations are being rewritten so that the government can get more involved in social media.
A lot of government listeners listen to us. Is there a website they can go to that you can give us after the break where we can, let them, find a way to contact you?
Oh, my website?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I put up a really simple one about an hour ago. It's
What is it?
Phaedra.com.
What is it?
Phaedra, F like Frank, A-Y, D like David, R like Robert, A, phaedra.com.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and check that website out and get back to you after the break and,
Okay.
you know, have any comments or anything.
1450 WOL, where information power.